Hello, can you hear me? Let's see who's online. Great. We're just going to wait for a few more people to turn up to the live stream, and then I'll get started. All right, I'm going to kick off. Good morning, everyone who has just signed up to the live stream. Welcome to the Goals to Growth Your 2026 Game Plan live stream. If you guys can hear me and see my screen, please drop a comment like a yes. I can see your videos and I can see the screen, so that would be great. Awesome. Okay, sounds like technology is working today for us. All right. I just want to acknowledge the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation as the traditional custodians of the country in which we meet today. We pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. So for those, anyone who is based overseas, we are based in Perth, Western Australia, and Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. So Noongar means it's the indigenous people of Western Australia. So just a bit about myself. My name is Min, and I used to be a food technologist. So what that means is I used to create all different types of food products, ranging from pet food, chicken nuggets, yogurts, dairy, and supplements, muesli bars, the whole lot. So that product I'm holding there is one of mine and is still in the supermarket. I'm also a user experience designer, so also help startups and other businesses with their apps and websites. I do lots of speaking for conferences. I love speaking. And also doing live streaming as well every now and again. I also did a startup weekend. So if you're not familiar with startup weekend, it's basically 52 hours where you are pitching an idea and you have to build the idea and validate it within 52 hours with a team that you form on the day, and you want to basically find out if the idea is commercially viable within that time, and then you pitch it to a panel of judges. I am now working for the Center for Entrepreneurial Research and Innovation based here in Perth, and I work as the Programs and Digital Executive. So, welcome, and I would like to know who you are on the live stream. So please drop a comment on your name and what you're working on currently. Any takers, or we just got a very shy group here today? Cool, thanks, Adi. So you're planning to do a startup next year? Great. Care to share what kind of startup? Jerry, thanks for tuning in. SkyMount Innovation. Yes, I'm super looking forward to hearing that. What is going to entail for innovation in that space for you? Anyone else want to drop in the comments what you're working on currently? Bessie, you're working in biodegradable plastic biosynthesis using bacteria and renewable resources. That's very cool. Great. That's very interesting. Agata, you're an educational publisher, and you just want to see what happens around in Perth. Cool, great. Hi, Matthew. Great. Yes, Brew Tree, super excited to see how you turn bacteria into wood. And we got Huzzah. You are an independent venture studio in the AGI and deep tech space. Oh, that's very cool. Great. Yeah, so is everyone here based in Australia, or are you guys based overseas? I know some of you are already based in Australia, but where are you guys located? Perth. Great. Oh, is everyone in Perth? I thought we had some overseas people, but that's okay. Sometimes we have like the random overseas straggler who like just crashes into these live streams every now and again. But it's all good. Everyone is welcome. Cool. All right. I'm gonna move along. Postcode 6000. Okay. Yes, that is very much dead center Perth. Right. So why do planning for 2026 now? Look, everyone says it's November, and the thing is with November, everyone says, I can't believe it's November. Well, here's the thing, that's how months work. Um, and yeah, everyone says, oh, the time's flying by. And here's the thing, when you're not doing your planning or your strategy, whether for yourself or for your business, it's just going to be one of those things where you say, oh my gosh, it's flying off so fast. And also, let's face it, December, especially in Australia, is just basically a write off. I'm originally from New Zealand, and I noticed that a lot of Australians really, really love their barbecues and their beers and going fishing. And basically, that's what December is, a lot of Christmas eating and a lot of time off. So I'm glad that you guys are on this live stream now, so you can actually start doing this for yourself. So I want you guys to start reflecting on the year, this year, that is 2025. I know it hasn't been gone yet, but what happens is that, the new year comes in and you don't really have time to reflect. So November is actually a very good time to do this kind of reflection. And I want you guys to think about what are your top wins and your hard-earned lessons. And I'm going to get you guys to drop some of these in the comments. So I'm just going to start off with what are your top wins? Your top wins in 2025. Do you have a top three that were very memorable? Do you have like a proud achievement this year that you were really happy to like breakthrough? Did you do something out of your comfort zone? Let me share first. So basically, some of the things that I'm proud of achieving is that I've continued to do my blood donations. I've spoken at more conferences this year, and I'm out to get my book published. And outside of breaking my comfort zone, I have started Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. That is definitely out of my comfort zone because it's a very sweaty and hands-on martial art in contact sport. But I did it, and I'm really glad that I did. And I'm really keen to hear as well what you have done to break out of your comfort zones. So please drop them in the comments. Confidence is the last pivot. Oh, that's great. That's great. It means that, well, it sounds like you have done your validation to the point you are feeling really good. Um, so, yeah, Hazard, that is a very great thing to put as a win. Anyone else want to put down your top wins for 2025 so far? Yay! You sold your first product and you had your first child. Amazing. Congrats, Matthew. Yeah, those are massive, massive wins. Yeah, both personally and professionally. So, congrats. That is huge. Um, Celebrations are on the way for you, for sure. All right. Anyone else? We got 8 people in this live stream, so it'd be great. You won your first grant to expand your research. Amazing. That's so good. Honestly, that is huge. That is huge. Love that for you. Um, Anyone else? Please type in your top wins or your proud achievements. Anything if you broke out of your comfort zone as well. I would love to hear that too. Roto Swim 2025. And you did that with your daughter. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, and then you sign up for a solo next year. Wow. Yeah, you're definitely gunning it in, Jerry. You signed up for Toastmasters and CERI, and you sold your first product last week. Yay, amazing. That is so good. Love that. All right. So I want you guys, I hope like as you're writing them down, like record them somewhere. It's really important that you recognize and celebrate these wins that you have gotten so far. It's important to do that for yourself because everyone gets busy, but you should always make time to ensure that you are celebrating your wins because they deserve that celebration. So if you guys have a pen and paper ready, or just your word processing document up. I'm going to get you guys to start writing down some things in the next. So, what were your lessons learned? So, basically, just want you guys to reflect on what has happened in your year in 2025. Like, what did you learn that didn't go to plan? How did you react to your lesson, or how do you react to a situation that maybe it wasn't aligned with how you really are? Was there a lesson that made you rethink your actions or behavior? So basically, this one is gonna be it can be confronting for some people, but I think this is a really good exercise to do leading up to 2026. And I think one of the things for me is that what I learned is learning how to really rest. That's what I learned this year. I think 2025 has been a go, go, go kind of year for me. And um, learning how to properly rest and scheduling time to rest is important. And when I didn't do that, I definitely wasn't performing at my best. I definitely realized that how much sleep is important, and when you're not having enough sleep, basically you do end up doing things that you're not doing like correct. I'll give you an example. Like I sent an email. Like it's a basic thing. I sent an email to like a lady. Let's say her name is Adriana, and basically I call that person Stephen. So yeah, not my best moment, even though it was something like that. Very embarrassing, but I realized it was because didn't rest and I was sleep deprived. So happy to give you guys a little bit of time and start reflecting on what you've been through in 25 and like what was something that you learned that you didn't go to plan. Was there anything that made you rethink your actions and behaviors? And please drop them in the comments. So I'm going to give you guys roughly 5 minutes, and yeah, please drop them in the comments. Thank you, Agatha, for sharing. So, learn to be patient with yourself and persevere and not compare myself to others while working towards a goal. Took 4 attempts to get your bronze medallion at the surf club. Wow, that is a fantastic reflection, Agatha. And I definitely feel that comparison piece is super important. That there is a saying that I think comparison robs you of joy. And you're also saying it's very hard to fail and fail and fail again and then to see your friends progress quickly. Yeah, and that's with the whole comparison piece. It can be it can feel discouraging, but I'm really glad that you're just persevering. And the thing is with like a goal like this is that you're on your own journey, and your friends are on their own journey too. And the thing is, sometimes friends don't really, sometimes they may not tell you about their failures that they're going through. So that's why comparison really doesn't really help anyone, and especially to yourself. We are our own harshest critics. So thanks, Agata, for sharing that. Anyone else would like to share? Huzzah. Build an MTP before an MVP. Yes. To walk the talk. Yeah, definitely have more execution. Very important. Um, every high, a low, or win or loss is a holistic lesson. Absolutely. I think that is super crucial um, when you're wanting to basically build a startup. Um, and yeah, all three things are like completely um, like great reflections, and I'm glad that you're seeing them as a holistic lesson. And that's the thing. Sometimes lessons they feel personal, but sometimes they're just there to direct you into the right path. All right. Anyone else want to share their reflections? Oh, and also, please keep record of your reflections because we'll reference them in the later exercises. All right, Matthew, persistence. Yes, absolutely. I can completely imagine when you're trying to grow wood from bacteria that um, there's going to be a lot of trial and error. And um, as you probably know, there's no such thing as the perfect experiment. There's always going to be something that you learn. There's going to be something that is completely wrong, but that's okay. And then sometimes you do get one of those experiments where they go really great. You can't have the wins without the fails. And yeah, having persistence is super important. Yeah, especially specifically for your venture that you are going through. This you're gonna need a whole lot of persistence and perseverance, which is great. Anyone else like to share a reflection before I move on? It would be great to hear from someone who is on the live stream but hasn't spoken yet as well. All right, Jerry. Oh, screaming matches in the office. Yeah, that can happen. And sometimes emotions can get to us. And yeah, I think that's one of the things um, whereby if yeah things don't go to plan and yeah, you said I shouldn't have bitten back. Yeah, that unfortunately does happen to the best of us. But I'm really glad that you are taking the time to reflect on that, Jerry. Um, and even sometimes, yeah, you mean well, but maybe in the heat of the moment, doesn't always work out. Thank you, everyone, for those who shared all your reflections. Please keep like that piece of paper or that reflection and lesson learned stored somewhere. We will refer back to that in a little bit. All right. So basically, some of the things so far with 2025, what are the actions and behaviors that you want to like keep doing? So what has worked for you, and when you want to continue doing. So, for example, if you do daily meditation practice, I do gratitude journaling. That's something I will keep doing into 2026. What's something you want to start doing? What actions, um, basically based on the lessons and whatnot, you have identified. For me, it's yeah, basically like continuing some form of martial art, most likely Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and some of the things that you should stop doing. So this is an interesting one. Like the activities that you should stop doing. For example, like when I done a ghost learning workshop, someone said, "Oh, they want to stop having road rage," um, and I think that is important as well. They've recognized that they have emotional outbursts on the road. Um, and it's and I understand that especially in Perth, NWA, people don't know how to drive. So yeah, keeping that road rage in check is quite important. But yeah, I would be keen to hear if you guys had any kind of things that you want to keep um, doing as part of your key reflections of the year so far. Please drop in the comments as well if there's something that you want to keep doing, start and stop, based on the lessons that you mentioned so far. Um, so I guess one of the things, for example, Agata, one of the things that you could try to stop doing is stop doing the comparison and actually start celebrating the fact that, hey, you got your bronze medallion at the surf club. That's so cool. Like like it doesn't matter if it was for like 4 attempts. That's still an achievement that a lot of people haven't achieved yet or will ever achieve. So I think putting perspective into that is important. All right, I am now going to move on from this one. But yeah, take note of this as well on what you want to start, stop, and continue doing. All right, so we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of things of like what exactly are goals. Goals can be really big, they can be really short term, long term, and they all depend on like who you are, what you are trying to achieve, whether it's in your business or in your life, or what it is that you're trying to do. So basically, I think the best thing that you could start is in 2026. What's one word that you want to feel for 2026? Like, do you want to feel hopeful? Do you want to feel more joy? Do you want to feel like, do you want to feel more courageous? Like, is what we're trying to establish is like, is there a theme that you want to have for 2026? And reflecting on 2025, what's something that you felt was that could be improved on? So Jerry, yeah, gratitude. Yeah, thanks for yeah, holding that in. And yes, completely agree. It is a game changer. Um, you also want to stop procrastinating and have more self-confidence and start taking more risks to move you forward. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So I guess everyone, please share one word or two words of what you want to feel for 2026. Is there something challenged? Great. I love that word. Like, do you want to feel challenged or do you want to challenge? I think that's a great way to think of it as well. Like, so do you want to? It sounds like you want to level up, Agata, and it's definitely from what you have described, you have been leveling up in your life. Um, So that's really, really, yeah, that's a great word. Didn't even think about that. Thanks, Agata. Anyone else? What do you want to feel in 2026? I guess I'll share what my word would be. My word would be, if I had to put it into like one or two words, will be uniquely courageous. That would be my two words. Jerry, unstoppable. I love that. That is a fantastic word. I feel like you're already unstoppable, but you can be even more unstoppable. And it's also a great song by Sia as well. Matthew, yes, and getting ahead. Yes, absolutely. And I think with Brew Tree, you are definitely going to be getting ahead. That is for sure. Anyone else? Please share. What is the word or the two words that you really want to feel for 2026? Please drop them in the comments in the chat. All right. Anyone else before I move on? Aggie, welcome. Acknowledged and value. Absolutely. Well, now you're definitely acknowledged. Well, so thank you, Aggie, for yeah, sharing your word for 2026. Much appreciated. All right. Thank you all for sharing. And also, it really helps if you write down the word that you want to feel for 2026 as well. Okay, so the difference between traditional and intentional goals. So it's really important to understand the difference between the two. So when it comes to what you call New Year's resolutions, there's been a lot of studies to show that New Year's resolutions don't actually work. They all fail within the first month. This is why gym memberships always, they go crazy, bonkers sales, or you see that the gyms are so crowded, and then by February, all those people have disappeared. That's because all those traditional New Year's resolutions or resolutions in general, they are basically just focusing mainly on outcomes. And the problem of that is people are rushing to get to this outcome, but they don't realize that it actually takes time. So they are frustrated that their expectations are not met. And what happens is they give up. So just like people who are going to the gym, it's actually a long-term thing. It's not just they're not even developing a habit. It's just they're thinking that going to the gym once is going to solve all of the health problems, which is not the case. And I don't want that for you. So, yeah, think about not having a New Year's resolution, but instead having more of an intentional goal. And intentional goals work far more better when they are aligned with your own personal values. And I'm going to touch on that in a little bit. So when they're aligned with who you are and who you want to be, they tend to stick a lot more. So you want to connect your goal with your own identity, and you want to create that internal motivation that allows you to have that commitment, so that you're able to see not just like the progress, but you actually see your evolution of yourself during the year. Um, so like I think Agata, you had a great example of talking about how you failed like 4 times, but you eventually got there. If that was just a normal resolution, then you're like, oh, hey, I attempted it once, then at least I give it a good shot, but you don't actually follow through. And I guess that is probably aligned with something that you really want to achieve because it really means something to you. And that's what intentional goals are all about, that they should mean something to you. They shouldn't be doing something for the sake of doing it or for the sake of having a New Year's resolution. Um, and also, like, you can have goals that carry forward from your previous year. If you haven't achieved them, that's completely fine. Or, for example, you may have already achieved them and you want to challenge yourself a little bit more. So basically, we're going to talk about how to go through all of these a little bit, and I'll get you through to do an exercise. So yeah, as I said, so all those resolutions, they fail because they're lacking clarity. They're not connecting to your own values, and there's a lot of change happening. Um, and people make excuses when it comes to New Year's resolutions. So yeah, not a great time for everyone. So you want alignment in your own core values and what your core values mean to you and your long-term goals. So this is going to be another activity for you guys. So here are a list of like values. So if you guys have done the entrepreneurial mindset bootcamp, you might have done a very similar exercise. But for those who haven't done this, I'm going to give you some time to think about what are your top 5 values. These are just some examples of some of the values that you want to have in your personal and or professional life. And it's important that you can think about, these could be values that you have always had in your whole life, or you can have these values just for 2026. That's completely fine too. Your values can change, they can evolve, they can like turn into something different, just depending on where you are at life as well. So I'm going to give you guys another 5 minutes to write out what are your top 5 values for 2026, and please share them in the comments. So I think for my top values would be, okay, I'm just going to drop them in the chat. So I'm going to have integrity, respect, growth. I'm going to say fun, and I want to say, and you can have more than 5, obviously. You don't need to have just 5. You can have more than, like, you can have as many as you like. But your top 5 kind of help determine how you're going to get to your future state, which I will explain in a little bit. Correct. All right, those are my top 5. And when you're ready, please drop in your top 5 values in the chat. So I'll give you guys like 5 minutes to do that. And then we'll share your top 5 values. Curiosity, fairness, independence, kindness, and teamwork. Thank you, Agata. I love those values. Those are really nice. really great values. Um, yeah, I really like all of those. Those are great. Aditya, self-discipline, curiosity, learning, vision, making a difference. I love that. That's very, very entrepreneurial. Bessie, making a difference as well. Awesome. Competence, spirituality, contentment. Love that. Accountability. I love all those. Yeah, that's seems very holistic. Matthew, making a difference, being a good parent, fantastic, definitely, especially being a new dad, that's going to be important. Um, creativity, curiosity, and being self-disciplined. Yes, yeah, self-discipline is yeah, come up at least twice now. That's great. Jerry, family, making a difference, integrity, courageous, accountability. Love that. Yeah, there's quite a few things you guys have in common, which is really great. We've got curiosity there, accountability, um, and yeah, making a difference. So that's really good. Love that. Very entrepreneurial lot for all of you, and it's really great to see that you're all thinking about this now. What's really important too when you're doing this exercise that like you can either have post-it notes and actually write down the 5 values that you have and put them on like your desk or a work area that you are going to be sitting down or working on every single day, and then those are kind of like your reminders of how you're going to conduct and like yourself and whatnot. Agi, we have random acts of kindness, integrity, encouraging others, respect, and paying attention. Love that. That's awesome. I feel like you're already doing that already, and it's great to see, how you were, what the values were. So that's really great. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. Thanks for that. So it's important that you have all those values kept somewhere because it's going to be important for the next activity. All right. So just to remind everyone that intentional goals is about your alignment with the personal values. So the ones that you all have listed out there, keep that there because we want them to connect them with your like your own identity and to have that motivation to foster the commitment and ensure that you are actually making progress that is sustainable. So we're gonna start filling out a strategy with intent, and then we're gonna pull in those reflections that we talked about earlier. All right, now we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of things, the strategic value goal setting. So I want you guys to think about when you are listing out the different types of goals that you want for 2026. For every action, every goal that you are going to conduct or do or work towards, always ask yourself the question: will future you benefit from this? Is it so? Think about what is your future state? What is your ideal future state? Who is that going to be? What does Agatha want to be, in 5, 10 years? What does like Jerry like want to be in the next 5 to 10 years? What does Matthew want to be? Where are you guys? Are you guys located still in Perth, or are you guys, you're so busy and so successful with your startups that you are traveling business class everywhere? Is Bessie just out there killing it with his startup, and he's sitting like next to Richard Branson. Like, what is that? Who is that future state? Who is that future version of you? So with every goal and action that you're going to take, make sure that it's working towards that future goal. So this is going to be another exercise that I want you to do, and it's gonna take just a little bit of time, but I want you to really start thinking about. And this is similar with manifestation. So manifestation is not just woo-woo. This is actually brain science. That basically, when you're writing things pen to paper, your body is just and your mind is just going to start working towards this. This works much better when you have a physical pen and paper, as opposed to writing it down. The research have shown that when you're actually writing it in pen and paper, you start working towards this. So when you have time, please get the pen and paper if you can. I will give you like maybe just a little bit more from like another 5 minutes or so or more to work on this. And um, like you can always go back and write more for your future self. And also think about are you like what is the state of your like family? Have your children graduated from university? Are they working like jobs, or are they running their own businesses? What are your friends doing? Who is in your circle of network? And what does your community look like? Or your communities that you're a part of or that you want to serve? Also, what is the impact that you're making beyond just yourself? It's all great to say, hey, look, I'm going to be living in a 10-bedroom mansion with two different swimming pools and, all the different saunas and ice baths and, like dogs, and I'm a dog walker. That's completely fine too. If you want that, write that down. Don't hold back. When it comes to writing out who your future self is going to be, do not hold back. The sky is the limit. Like, do not humble yourself at this stage. Like, your future self, I would encourage everyone to be completely audacious and bold as you want it to be. So please get a pen and paper and write out what and who your future self is. And also, where are you based? What are you doing for work? Are you even working? Um, are you like in a like the business lounge, about to go overseas for a holiday, or are you going to be seeing a client? Are you with a mentor like Richard Branson, or are you having a conversation with Mel Perkins, for example? Yeah, so anything like that. I will give you guys 5 minutes. Grab pen and paper, and please write out your future self. Drop in the comments if you have any questions about this exercise as well. Jerry, we have getting Sky Mount off the ground. During trade shows all over the world, flying business class, your family is joining you for a week's holiday after the trade show in a different country every 5 weeks. I love that. I love how specific that is. I love that you got your family involved. I love that you're saying flying business class as well. It's really important to be specific on what you want your future state to be. So yeah, that's great. I love that for you. I definitely see that happening for you as well, Jerry. Yeah, so everyone else, please feel free to share as well your ideal future state. That can be for your personal or for your professional or business. Obviously, they're very interlinked, intertwined. Feel just share what you're comfortable sharing as well. I'll give you guys like another 2 minutes. And we go. Finish Freedom continue to be heavily involved in the surf club and raise 10 million to build a new surf club at Cottesloe. Awesome. Love that. That's so cool. Definitely. And I think that's a very doable goal. Absolutely. Matthew, you're a business owner delivering solutions that solve plant problems. You got 2 children. Great, amazing. I think you have set the first one or the second one, and the wife is happy in love. Yes, very, very important. You have an EV or hybrid ute. Yes, it would help as well to what is the brand that you would like. What and I think I will mention as well when you're doing this exercise, be specific as possible. Be super specific. Um, Tesla, great. Like what color Tesla? Does it have the leather seats? What model? Yeah. And also for like Jerry, are you flying Qatar or are you flying Emirates? Yeah, it's great just to really hone down on the specifics of what you want your future self to be in. Aditya, we have in the innovation space, having a prototype ready and talking with stakeholders to adapt the platform. Great. I love that for you, definitely. And to challenge that, I would say think about like who are the stakeholders and you know like what industry are they from? Are they so when you say see yourself in an innovation space, do you see yourself speaking? Are you on stage? Are you giving workshops? Yeah, that's super exciting for you, and I hope to see you around in the innovation space. All right. Anyone else would like to share their future state of who they want to be? Please share in the comments. I also have my own as well. Um, I have, oh, there it is. All right. So my future state is that I am a published author and I am traveling, giving workshops around the book and doing a lot of collaborations with other content creators. Having fun doing that as well. I can also talking about innovation and entrepreneurship and career changing in different countries and giving keynotes on that topic. So that's a part of my ideal future state. That is that I no. Let me rephrase this. Basically, when you are saying this, say it in the present tense as well. So, for example, I am a published author. So you could say, for like Jerry, like I have. So imagine if it's already done. So, for example, I have like Jerry can say, I have raised $10 million for a new surf club in Cottesloe. So when it comes to making this exercise even more powerful, write it in the present tense as if it's already been accomplished. And then that is going to be far more powerful. So I would say give that a try. All right. Anyone else would like to share? If not, that is completely fine, but you can always drop it in the comments later on. Okay, so when it comes to 2026, good way to start defining your key goals is basically now that you know what your future state is going to be, basically you're reverse engineering that. So you want to basically think about if you want to work towards that future state, what are those goals going to be? So that future state that I asked you guys to write out is to help you with the clarity, with the alignment, and also get some accountability for yourself. So this is going to be another thing that I'm going to get you guys to write out, and how to break down your long-term goals into like milestones, so that you get consistent progress. So this is the template that you can use. So all those values that I would ask you to actually write out, start pulling them back in, and basically where does this value align with that future state, and then write out what is the SMART goal. So the SMART goal is specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. And an action as well. Ideally, you want that to be an action that you can do. It's something that you are doing. And accountability, if you can get an accountability buddy, is not super crucial to get one. And how does it link to your long-term objective? Or so ideally, it should link to that future self that I got you guys to describe before. And I give you guys an example as well. So basically, so the values at CERI was community and fun. And the goal is to build a community at CERI to over 30 members with monthly events. We'll just set up an event in January 2026. And Gemma is my accountability buddy. And basically, long-term objective for CERI is to build that current alumni community. So this is an example of a goal. So try to link something like that. I'll give you guys some time to write out a goal. So I'll give you guys another 5 minutes to write out an example of a goal. And then please share it in the comments. So just another 5 minutes. All right, Jerry, sign up for investment readiness course. Yes, thank you. You have get the best mentor on Australia. Yes, absolutely doable. As well, lock in a licensing contract for Sky Mounts for 12 months worth 600K. Nice. Send the PO to build. Great. Awesome. Those are all doable. Very doable. Um, I feel like the first one's already done. So, yeah. All right. Anyone else would like to share? Um, I have a feeling you're going to be selling more than 100,000 brackets, Jerry. Just a feeling, just a hunch. Nice, 6 months. If you can challenge yourself, that's even better too. Challenge yourself without giving yourself too much pressure, but definitely, um, yeah, definitely write it down. So I hope everyone's got your pen and paper and you've been writing down and scribbling it in. Um, Matthew, so yeah, you want to be courageous, sell more product. Absolutely. Get some products into a herdsman market. Yeah, definitely. And your wife is your accountability person. I can't think of any other better accountability person than your spouse. And in long term, getting an environmental business started. Yeah, I can definitely see that happening for you, Matthew. So, and I'm looking forward to that. All right. So, when you've written all that down, um, we will make a connect. All right. So basically, you want to review your goals strategically and have a regular cadence of when you are reviewing them. So think about it as if you are a business or a company. So, um, for example, like some of these businesses, they will review their strategic like goals and plans like every month or they have quarterlies, and you should also do that for yourself, like have your own quarterly or have your own monthly regular checkup. Are you on track with the goals? Is the actions that you have done for that month like leading towards the future, your future self? Have you been living the values of that goal? And your accountability person. Also, if you have someone who is going to keeping you accountable, definitely share with them what have written out. Get them along the journey as well of where you want to be. Of course, this should be someone that you trust and that who wants the best for you and wants to see you grow. Also, be flexible. Here's the thing: your goals can change. There's nothing wrong with changing. You just want to stay consistent, so that your actions are going to be achievable and they are relevant. You don't want to be flaky when it comes to doing something like this. All right, let's turn these plans into action. All right, so a lot of the things, and as the years and months go by for, let's say, 2026, and obviously, it's a very common theme that a lot of people experience procrastination. And I think someone did mention in the chat that procrastination is something that is going to hold you back. It holds a lot of people back. Um, and it can come from perfectionism, it can come from fear of failure or even fear of success. And that can just delay us from becoming our future self, or the things that we need to take towards our goals. If you haven't had that feeling of basically when you just been able to lock in and do the action, then you realize, that procrastination is a very insidious monkey that can just hold you back and makes excuses in your head. And then you can have overwhelm. Like I get that, um, people are married, you have kids, you have other responsibilities, you have other commitments as well, and that can make it really hard to focus to do the one thing. And sometimes it might feel like you're stalling, and sometimes the overwhelm can like lead to that whole comparison piece, whereby if you're comparing yourself to other people who seem to have it all together, but really no one knows. You only know what you have in place. um, and when people are not reviewing their strategies, there's a lack of clarity. So that's why I asked you guys to do like write out your future state. What are your values, so that you actually have them written down on a piece of paper or somewhere that you are conscious of it, you are aware of it. There's nothing that would be more like, I think it's always worth to be aware of where you want to go to, especially when the new year is just around the corner. And then you can prioritize exactly who and where you want to be. So, some really great ways of doing this is, I would say, stack your habits. If you have habits that are working for you, so you'll start um, and continue doing and stop doing actions and behaviors and whatnot, like put them there, especially for the ones where you want to start and continue doing, keep doing that. If you have one of those calendars that you can place on your wall, and if there's like one habit that you really want to start developing, for example, if you just want to do daily walks, or you want to do like 7,500 steps or 10,000 steps a day, put that somewhere you can mark it, or have it on the phone where is reminding you to do it. Find a system that is going to work for you. Everyone works a little differently. And also set the intention that if you don't have a system in place, start creating a system that's going to work for you. Don't just follow what other people are doing. Definitely go and explore, investigate what systems are going to work to stack those habits, and experiment. We talk about trial and error. This is a good way to do that too. Time blocking as well. Scheduling your tasks that you want to dedicate. So I always recommend doing the Pomodoro technique, where you are setting aside 25 minutes just to do the one thing and one thing only, with no distractions around you. If you need apps to help you with that, definitely use those apps to do that. Or if you want, you can literally buy a Pomodoro timer from Amazon or wherever and set it to the 25 minutes, and you can hear the ticker go by. And at the end of the 25 minutes, you have a 5-minute break where you just need to do what you need to do. And then if you need to do another Pomodoro session, then you continue doing that. But again, no distractions. And I find that, and for a lot of people, it's really useful. Also set an intentional reflection as a regular cadence. It doesn't have to be once per week, but find a time and place where you can reflect just on yourself, for yourself. It's important to have a debrief time and check if you are having that cadence of are you going towards the goal that you want to achieve? Were there actions that you felt proud of, or were there some behaviors or whatnot that you noted that you weren't so happy with, or they weren't aligned? And if not, why not? And just to track how you are going with that. So yeah, take those lessons with you that I got you guys to mention earlier, about that, like for example, if you were like yelling at another director, think about, is there something that can help you prevent that you want to stop being reactive and start being more proactive. As an example, you can think about how you want to take those lessons. Is it a habit? Is it action? Is it behaviors? Or even your thoughts? Are there specific thoughts that are not serving you? Like, is there thoughts that do you want to actually start having more? Do you want to have, like, for example, more like positive thoughts? But if you want to have more positive thoughts, what are the behaviors and actions that will lead to more positive thoughts? These all have like a domino effect. So I'd highly recommend that you take more time outside of this live stream, obviously, and take that into 2026. And breathe. Please breathe. It's so important to breathe, and being able to just to take the time and remember that your breath is the one thing that you have sole control of, right? You are in control of your breathing, and breathing is so important in everything that we do, and bringing conscious breathing is going to help you gain that clarity from a physiological perspective. I would highly recommend that just take note of how you are, who you are, and what you're doing, and just breathe. Take the moment to breathe. If you need to go step aside and breathe and just get that blank space, do it. Just make that time. All right, so we're near the tail end. I want you guys to start thinking about your first 30 days. So break down what it is that you want to achieve in the first 5 weeks of 2026. Some people say, hey, the first week of January is always going to be a write-off. That's fine, but you still can achieve something, right? Even if it's just one thing for your first week of January in 2026, try to do that. I feel like a lot of people just write it off because they're too hungover or way too drunk, or way too full or carb loaded from all of their silly eating that they had. But you still have capacity to do just the one thing. So I would say now's the time to start preparing for that. So, for example, week one is this is from a CERI perspective, is to form the alumni and community of the new event. And the value for that is communication. Week two, host new alumni event, also about community. Value three, write out a strategy for the year with the team. The value is transparency and strategy. Week four, test out new social media tools. That's the value of fun. And week five, catch you with 3 industry groups. That's communication, fun, and community. I'm going to give you guys some time to write out your first 30 days. And if someone would like to share, that would be great. So I'll just leave that here for you guys to just to use as a reference. And of course, think about, again, ask yourself, is this serving future you? Is this serving yourself? Is it serving your community? Is it serving your friends? Is it serving your networks? And how's it doing that as well? So I'll give you some time to go over that too. That is a great question, Agatha. So, how to approach the rest of the year? Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's a great question. And yeah, iterate on the following quarters with the same method. Yeah, I definitely recommend doing this like method now for the rest of the year if you can. Like, for example, like if Christmas Day is a write-off for a lot of people. That's completely fine. But during that week, if there's something that you want to achieve, definitely write that down to for that week of December. So, like, if you want to be able to um, do something during that week, what is the value that you want to uphold, and what is the goal or the action that you want to achieve, and then think about as well, how does that connect to the future you. So yes, great question. And I hope that answers your question as well, Agata. So let me know in the comments if it did. Otherwise, yeah, just let me know. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, definitely, if you can, write this out for the whole year, so that um, you can, like, January, you just write it out so you have an idea, and in February you write it out. And the whole idea of doing like a regular review of yourself is to ensure that um, those weeks are actually aligned to your future self. So write it for January and then write it for February and March and whatnot. But obviously, like maybe mid or end of January, you review what those next month is going to be. I hope that answers your question. Jerry, we have at least 2 meetings with your new mentor during the 5 weeks. Swim every day in January as part of your roto swim preparation. Yes, awesome. That is great. Love that. How many Ks every day? That's gonna be like one hell of a swim prep. Wow, at least 25 to 30 Ks per week. So that's, wow, that's almost like 5 Ks a day. That's a lot. 5, so 30 divided by 7 down. That's like, that's a lot of Ks to swim. I really admire your determination to do that, because that's a lot of Ks to cover. But you're definitely going to be able to do that for sure. All right. Would anyone would like to share what they have for their first 30 days, if they like? Matthew, thank you. So you'll be focusing on health, family, and building a new reactor. That's cool. Agi, suggestion for Jerry: have more than one mentor. Um, yeah, it's always a good idea to have multiple mentors. I know that people have different mentors for different aspects of their life as well. That's always super handy. So yeah, you can have like a business mentor. You can have like a like a sports mentor and whatnot. Yeah, always have you can have different like mentors. So yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Agi. And that definitely is followed through with your values of random acts of kindness. So appreciate that. Thank you. All right. I hope you have something um, all written out for like upcoming December, January, and for 2026. I am, and yeah, please feel free. I'm just going to continue the presentation. Um, Yeah, so basically you got that there. I just want to say that at CERI, we have the Entrepreneurial Mindset Bootcamp, which is happening in February next year, in the 23rd to 24th. And we definitely hone on a lot more into the exercise of your values and the importance of your why and how to communicate your purpose and vision a lot more. And how networking is important as well, especially if you're in the entrepreneurial journey. So I'm really glad that you guys are doing your goal setting now, so that you're going to have a step ahead amongst everyone else. And the mindset bootcamp is just going to help complement that for sure. So basically, the Entrepreneur Mindset Bootcamp goes on for 2 days from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's on the 23rd to 24th of February as well. We also have Concept to Creation, and that's kicking off next year, 12th of March to the 21st of May. That goes on for 11 weeks from 5 to 7 p.m. every Thursday. And that's to help founders, entrepreneurs really get the foundations of what it means to take your startup to the next level, how to communicate your brand. You're learning all the different things, all right? Accounting, finance, business models, negotiation, IP, all the important things that you need to know when you're a founder or an entrepreneur. And for this one, you have a chance to pitch your finale at the finale to win one of 3 $5,000 market foundation grants. And you're eligible for CERI space, office space here in Netherlands. We also have investment readiness that's happening on the 11th of March, which is 2026. And that is if you are a company ready to be in front of investors, angels, or venture capitalists, we will help you with that as well. And also how to build up a strategy on raising capital. And this is also the same kind of benefits for concept to creation. And you also become eligible for CERI space. So yeah, that is the end of this live stream. Thank you so much, everyone who participated. I hope you found it all useful. I'm probably going to do something like this again. So please let me know if you have any questions. If you want the slides to this, let me know as well. Connect with me on LinkedIn. If you have any questions, or if you even want like some office time with myself to go over what we just talked about, or if you got any questions about programs, please let me know. So yeah, much appreciated. Any questions for the live streams? I think we've got like another 5 minutes. Awesome. Thank you all. I will see you all shortly. Yes, and I'll keep you all posted for any more future live stream events or in-person events at CERI. Thank you all. Yeah, it was really fun, and I hope I'm looking forward to seeing what you achieve in 2026. All right, have a good rest of the day and rest of the week. See you.